After that person then retired and allowed his daughter to get that plot. So in this way 5 plots were secured by him of the Tamil Nadu Housing Board in and around Chennai. Again in violation of the rules and violation of the law, which is also a serious misconduct. Entering into Benami transactions, clearly a lot of this property, even these housing plots have been acquired, though acquired and his daughter acquired them in violation of the law, which is the Benami Transactions Prohibition Act. Fourth charge was acquiring and possessing agricultural holdings beyond the ceiling limit. Ceiling limit there was some 20-30 acres, something like that. And he had acquired almost 500 acres of land, out of which 350 acres were acquired in the names of all these various companies or his daughter, etc. Please come, sir. Or in the names of these 4 companies, the ceiling. The fifth charge was that he illegally encroached on government and public property to deprive Dalits and the poor of their right to livelihood. One of the charges was that 150 acres of land which he had cordoned off by means of a huge fencing. He had cordoned off 500 acres of land, out of which 150 acres or so was not even owned by any of these, was really public land, government land or common property land of the village, that is the Gaon Sabha land, including ponds, etc. Village ponds were also encroached upon by him and cordoned off by a fence. So also that was also totally illegal. Thereafter, the other charge is violation of human rights of Dalits and the poor. That is, he used to virtually get these poor people who tried to use that land, beaten up, and in fact even got some of them to work. Some of the information that we got about him was that he was probably getting labor from the jails, or people who were in the jails to work on those farms. Then there was a charge of destruction of evidence during an official inquiry. See, what happened was, when these allegations were initially made, the Chief Justice reportedly ordered an inquiry through the district magistrate of that district. District magistrate, after inquiry, gave a report saying that yes, he has cordoned off 500 acres of land, out of which more than 100 acres is common property land which he has encroached upon, which is government land or common property land, and the remaining is held by these 4 companies of his wife, daughter, and his daughters and wife, etc. When this report was given and it was made available to him by the Chief Justice, immediately after that he sent people to start uprooting this fence in order to destroy the evidence that he had in fact encroached upon all this land, including government land and common property resources. In fact, when thereafter the villagers complained that he was now destroying this evidence, and the collector sent a tehsildar or some officer to verify this, that officer was threatened by him or by his manager and by him. That manager immediately called him up, Justice Dinakaran, on the phone and asked this officer to talk to Justice Dinakaran, who threatened him and told him to get off the land and he was trespassing on this property and that he would have him prosecuted for these offences. That tehsildar thereafter gave this account of what happened to the media. Unfortunately, thereafter we believe that the collector gave another report, sent another report about what transpired with the tehsildar, about this destruction of evidence, etc. But unfortunately none of these reports have been made public. Then there is a charge of obstructing public servant on duty regarding this tehsildar. There is a charge of undervaluation of properties at the time of registration to evade stamp duty. Again, that has been very thoroughly documented in the explanatory note carrying out illegal construction and breach of town planning law and planning permit, misuse of official position to unlawfully secure property and to facilitate other illegal acts for personal gain, and abuse of judicial office to pass dishonest judicial officers contrary to settled principles of law to favor a few individuals or his own unjust enrichment at the cost of public exchequer and the country's natural resources, and in matters where he had a personal and direct pecuniary interest to secure several properties for his family. Now these charges related to that in this very case where he got 5 plots from the Tamil Nadu Housing Board, that issue regarding acquisition of land by the Tamil Nadu Housing Board from which these plots were given came up before him, and he passed an order clearing the way or dismissing the petition challenging the acquisition of land and thereby clearing the way for allotment of plots to his daughters, his wife, etc. Then there was this lady with